Okay, good afternoon, friends. Thanks for joining. So this is our fifth session. So far, we have seen Angular introduction and some basics and TypeScript we have learned, and we started learning about Angular building blocks. These are very essential for so each part of the Angular. So in the main building blocks, we have learned component and modules. Two things we have learned, right? So in our Angular building blocks actually component and modules we have discussed in the last sessions. We are going to discuss other building blocks in 1 hour. How much we can cover that we can cover today. So decorators, directives, templates, metadata, and pipes. So I think that's we can cover at least these five. If you have time, we can go for the data binding. Okay, so then we move to the next topic, decorators. Okay, actually, what is the decorators? Decorators in Angular annotated with the at symbol. It starts with the at symbol. It helps to define metadata for any classes. Could not understand, right? Actually, this is nothing but the special syntax. We need to mention this decorator in Angular component. It may be in various level, in class level, property level, method level, and the parameter level. We can define these decorators. Okay, let's look the code to understand what is the decorators. Actually, this is not the thing developers going to do something for this decorator. Actually, decorators are already available. We need to mention in our components. So Angular compiler will understand. So what to do? Okay, let's look the code now. So in app module, actually in app module, the export class app module. In component, same syntax, export class app component. Actually, both are class only, right? Both are classes. Then how Angular will understand this is class for module, this class for component. Okay, how that will understand? Actually, that is based on this keyword at component. This is called decorator, nothing. Okay, so this is called decorator. If you see here, at component is a decorator. In module, so it starts with at module. Okay, so this is the thing. Actually, this is a special syntax we need to mention in the classes. So based on this only, Angular will understand this is a module or this is the component or other things, pipe and directives, services. We are going to learn that and all. I haven't mentioned now, shown you because I haven't teach you. So okay, so just you take this module and component. Okay, so we did tell, then only Angular compiler will understand and do something. For component, it will provide some page concept here, right? So HTML, CSS, and other things it will provide. In terms of module, it provides some modularity. Okay, it imports few and export and other things and other dependency services, many things it will do. So as of now, just understand decorator is a special syntax. We need to mention in our class. Based on that only, Angular will understand before executing the code. Okay, so this is a class decorator actually, because before the class we are mentioning this one. So this is a class decorator. So tell Angular how to process the class. So class is a common. To differentiate the class, we need to mention this one. Next one is the property decorator. So this and all, the input, output, view child, host listener, inject, that and all we haven't learned. Just you just understand what just I am going to explain. We will see detail in our upcoming sessions. Okay. So property decorator. Actually, property means we need to declare some variable, right? Let's go on to see. So just input. Since we haven't used in our project, I have taken my project actually where currently I'm working on. Here I type input. Okay. So here public person ID string. This is a property, small property, right? So this is also another property. So before property, we need to mention this one. So then Angular will understand input means what Angular has to do. Output means what it has to do. So this and all the property decorator. Actually, input output concept actually I explain in single line just, but we will see later in detail. When we have parent child component within the same page, one component is there. Inside of the component, we call other component that will act as the child component, right? In that child parent relationship, so in that and all we haven't discussed actually how to pass the value to class to template that HTML, HTML to class that and all possible within the same component. But component to component, if you want to pass the data means we will use that only you will understand this one. So that property actually that property will use for input some value to child component. That's why we use input, and output means opposite to that. So child to parent, we need to send some data means we need to use output. Okay. The at view child, actually view child is actually view kind of things. Actually, view means HTML kind of element. Actually, we will use in our template. Okay, let's go to our project. So here we are using some template, right? Some tag or some elements, right? That value we need to reference into this class. So then we will use. So I show the same detail in our existing project. So view child, right? So before the property, we have used this view child. If you search this view child in okay, okay, actually this view child. So we give some reference here. That reference we are using in class. Okay, that is a view child. Just understand this is a special property. It does some other things apart from if you declare one property means that value we will use inside of the class, right? So that is the normal behavior of the particular property. But these properties will do some extra thing. Okay, as I explained, pass the value child to parent, parent to child, and template to class. That and all it does. As of now, you understand these things. So this direct decorator used for property. This and all called property decorator. Another one is a method decorator. So before the method, we will use this decorator. So it does some other thing. So let's find this one. Host listener. See, before the method, we are giving this thing. So host listener will listen whenever you press the key for particular control. So you can ask me. So key press event is there. So what is the difference between key press event and host listener? What is the difference mean for the same text box? Let's say the text box. So if you want to do something when you type the text box, means the same component we can use the key press event. But here this is a different behavior. Actually, in another 5 minutes we will going to discuss about the directive. This is a special thing. So whenever you type in your telephone number or age, so there we should not accept any character over there, right? So for that, this is the directive is a special syntax. So we need to write special function and attach this directive into that text box means you don't allow. So whenever you type character means it will skip that event we are handling here. So whenever user press character means this event listener will actually this listen for all the input. If you type invalid means it will escape. So it will do something. So I will explain later. So host listening is the one decorator. We mentioning this one before one method. This is a called method decorator. In this lesson itself, we are going to create one custom directive. We have so many inbuilt directive. We are going to create one custom directive. That time I will explain. You will understand actually.
We have an on-change event. In JavaScript, we don't have an on-change event. So what is the difference on this? Because when I press a key, an on-change event will fire. So
Okay.
how does it differs compared to on-change versus post?
Actually, host listener for all the event. So if you say I have written one format number directive and attach this directive into text box, any text box I can attend. Where and all I attach, this directive will validate the value. So not only key press. So host listener key up, key down. So any when we paste, so it just it will listen the text box whenever we do some operation in text box. It will do. Actually, we can do. So you are asking the key press event. It means that there itself is going to fire, right? In JavaScript change. Then why we have to do in the roundabout way? So we need to write this directive and handle means this is the common functionality. So if you write anything in that particular text box of key press event, so if you want to implement same for other text box means you need to write 2 to 3 places, right? But this is a only one place we will write for this directive where and all you attach this directive into so many text boxes. That text box and all you need not write anything. So it will handle here itself. So one place, so we are writing this one. So this is the main different. So when you write for this directive, you I think you will understand more. So this is the common place. One place we are writing this thing instead of writing all the pages.
So all the input controls we can use this like a change drop down.
Everything we can write this one. So this is called method. So before method, so actually where we are using, so before class or before property method. So this is why we have differentiated this decorator. So this is the method decorator. The final one is the parameter decorator.
Sorry.
Okay.
So how we use in front end? I mean HTML, CSS. In UAE.
In UAE?
How to reference the host business? That's it.
In UAE, actually, the template only. So actually, what we can do, we are writing this. Okay. This is a directive, right? So let's search with this keyword. So, see, in input text box, I have called this one. Just we need to call like this. Automatically, it will validate this input box. So this is the thing. Actually, so we will see that directive, then we will understand more. Okay, so we need to use for some controls where we want to add this functionality. Okay, so final one is the inject. Inject is a parameter. Before the parameter, we need to give. So in constructor, we are adding the parameter, right? So in this parameter, actually data is the parameter here. So we are using this inject. Okay, so it will inject some value, some special functionality for this data. Okay, so this one is related to the dependency injection. We will discuss more about that. Just now in this session, just to understand, decorator actually we can mention the various level. So this is the parameter decorative. In the parameter decorative, mostly it used for dependency injection. We have separate building blocks for the dependency injection. Actually, it will comes with service. We will discuss more about the dependency injection. Okay, this is about the decorator. So we need to understand this keyword. Apart from that, we need to know how you need to use this decorator for which purpose we are going to use. That we will learn more about that. As of now, we know how to use the component and the ng model. Other things and all we haven't discussed. Let's learn more in the upcoming session. Actually, template. Actually, we learned part of our introduction thing. So template is nothing but our HTML page. Okay, so this is very easy one only. So if in structural component we have HTML file, right? So this is called actually template. So two types of template. One is inline template. Another one is separate the file template. So inline template means instead of using the template URL, we need to use template, and here itself we can mention our HTML. Okay, so this is the thing. Actually, in this project we have seen, right? Before that. Okay, when we saw the decorative, that time we saw the that one. So post listener I use. So when we search this keyword, right? So here. So this is the input inline template. So HTML, the small portion of HTML we are using. So we can use here itself to see this different keyword template here. But you want to use separate file means template URL. We need to give the path and the file name. So template URL. This is called template. Already we covered nothing but one HTML page. That's it.
The template we had given us just a text box, that's it. So can we create it like a shared kind of template? Like in the same page, I would have multiple controls, and then along with that, in template component at the component we have template, right? So can I give some other part of it like a share partial class or something like that? And partial.
So complicated thing we cannot do. So, but we have text box and buttons and other things and all we can do.
So what I'm thinking is for a simple form we can use it with the HTML, and for small controls we can go with the template.
Template. So last class I said, right, actually just some header thing and very smaller thing, some message after saving successfully you save. That kind of time we can create the component without having styles and template. I created one component, right? So we can do that time. We can go further.
Both could be simultaneously used or not. That's my base question. Template and template URL.
So same within the one
Within
component
the
you
same
want to use that we cannot use because which it will show that and all the issue. So that we cannot do. Okay, so this is the template, nothing but the HTML page. So metadata. So this also very easy. Metadata means we are providing the information to the decorator. Okay, for that class, what he has to do. Okay, so for component we have selector and standard alone, import this and all. Module we will have different information. So the information we are providing to for this decorator. So metadata is information about the class, and used to decorate a class. It tells Angular how to process the class. Okay, so component means it will show the page, and in ng module means it will provide the modularity about the thing. So this is the metadata, these things. So what you are seeing, the selector to style URL, right? So this is the information, which information we are providing. And the directive. So this is only very, very important to developers. So, so it actually it helps us to add or change behavior to the elements, HTML elements, and create the reusable components. So let's see how to create the reusable component. So one time we can create, we can use multiple places. That's thing we are going to discuss about the directives. Here we have four kind of directives. Structural directive, how to change the structure, add or remove the new or existing the element. Okay. So attribute means change the color and style. So that attributes of the elements, right? This is one is the actually the component directives and the custom directives. Component directive means we can add one HTML file. Actually, this is the reusable component. So we can create one component, right? The same component we can use inside of another component. So this is the component directive. We will use that component as a directive. Another one is a custom directive. So let's see how we can create our the custom directives. And here, okay, let's move to structural. In structural, it the name itself explain. Actually, it changed the structure of the HTML file. So it had or remove the existing DOM elements, the HTML element. Okay, so this is a, actually a ng if condition switch for, right, that is called actually directives, structural directives here. I have mentioned this directive in two colors. Actually, we have two if here, ng if and at if. Switch like that we have to. So why we have to means in Angular 17 they introduced the new syntax for the structural directives. In before Angular 17 we have ng if. Currently we are using a ng if, right? Star ng if we are using. No, year after in Angular 17 itself we need not use, but you can use. That is compatibility. It provides the support. So if you migration your project Angular 15 to 17 means it will support, still support. Even you can write continue to write this ng if. But this is a new thing. This is very near to our if condition. What we are using in C sharp and other actually even in classes, even in classes we will use if condition, right? We can write it in HTML element itself. Let's see the different. Okay. Okay, run the project. This thing we are going to see. Okay, the payment status is just I have only header. So just assume that we have payment status about your invoice and other things, and all. We have several. One session is that in this session we need to show only for the paid user. Guest user, they are not going to pay anything, right? So one option is there. So we have the same page, but this page will act based on the user authorization, right? So one if user is a paid user means we need to show this section. Otherwise, you need to omit. So what we will do in if condition we will write. So same thing we are going to try now. Let's close this one. Have it. Okay, here actually this structural directive I am adding in the header element. Here in the header element we have payment status, and this is the one variable I have declared here. Is title is needed. Okay, so title is needed. I have given here. So true means it should show now. So it's showing. If I change it to false, it shouldn't. So nothing is showing here, right? So this is simple if condition. change back to true. So in your element, just you need to add this and that. Okay. But in this is the older version. Older version means in Angular 16. Up to Angular 16, this is a syntax. Actually, this syntax is syntax for Angular 17. So it's very similar to our programming language. So if the title is needed, then we need to give this. Okay, so now let's move to screen. Actually, I have given another other thing. So this is for Angular 17. So, and but here the same line we are mentioning here, we need to add the if condition inside of that. But when we have the multiple thing, so just assume that 3 lines, the based on if title is needed means I need to show the 3 lines means we need to add this one every line. But here, if title is needed means instead of that I can add that 3 things. So one time we can use this if condition and it apply for the all the necessary element. So this is a different. Otherwise here we need to add 3 times. So H1 so payment status and another header 3 header means in 3 times I need to add here. And let's see how it looks like when go for the else condition. Okay, so let's move here. So here if paid user means I show the congratulation message in green color. Guest user means we need to show you are not paid user, please pay your course fees kind of things. So we need to in else condition we are going to give here. Here you can see there is no else here normally, but here itself we are mentioning. Uh, if if means it will execute, else means the ID we need to mention here. Separate black that ng template we need to write separately and to mention this ID here. So it automatically the control will come here. Else, if fail, then only it control will come here. Otherwise, this black will be executed. Okay. So now is paid. Actually, let's see whether it is true or false. It paid is a true. We will make true. See, congratulations. View all the courses. It tells like that. So let's go for false now. Sorry, you are not paid user, pay your course fees. So how we are showing this? So based on the thing, paid means this block will be executed. False means this IT selector. So IT selector will do, it will, so we need to use some roundabout way. So this is little bit pain, but in the newer syntax, let's see. In Angular 17, it's very simple, right? So else we can use this and all, else and all we can use like normal if condition, if else it works. But we need to mention this at symbol. That is the different in class here. The same thing we can write in class itself. So here itself we can write, but at symbol we cannot write. We cannot use here. But if you want to use the if condition instead of template means we need to use that at symbol. So this is the thing. So here we need not create for ng template and all hereafter. So directly in else condition, we can give the same thing only I have given here. So I think twice it will show. Okay, this is for the older syntax. This is a newer syntax.
Which is the execution cost?
Actually, fast. Actually, I haven't checked the benchmark. But anyhow, finally, actually, my thing is that finally it will be in inside. It will go for ng if kind of things. In compiler will do that and all. But mostly why they are bringing this and all means developer convenient. So one person moving from other programming language to here means this and all very newer, right?
Yeah.
So else this and all what is that? Why I need to go for ng template? So
Yes,
this
the
very familiar.
sometimes it's very similar to the C#. So
Yeah, yeah,
C#.
C#. Even in TypeScript itself, so same syntax we can write here. So if you go here, so let's try this one. Even this class itself, right? So if you have any constructor, then we can use here itself. But we cannot use this and all. So instead of that, we can go for some console log. Okay, so here we need to use this keyword because if you use any variable instead of method means you need to use this keyword. Okay, so now let's check this result in console log. See, just the same syntax, right? So the at symbol is the only different. Easily we can use the same JavaScript code we can write within the template. This is the change. Okay, this is about uh, the if condition. Let's go for switch case actually. So here we have seen ng if and if. So structural thing. Next to go for the if switch case. How we are using. You know, switch case. This is the default switch case and several cases. And what is the default case? We need to use. This is for the Angular 16 code. 17 code is directly you the at symbol switch the case default. This the very familiar with JavaScript or C#. So execute both of them. So one displayed. Actually, the both comes from the switch case because we have written the function. Actually, option. What is the option here? So option what we have declared here. Option is a one. So let's change it to next time see the result. So now we change the two. So case is the two where it matches. The first one it won't match. So when it matches to 2, it displays this part. This is about the ng, the Angular 16 code, but new code in Angular 17 code is directly we are using, right? Only different is that apart from that, the directly we are using. So this is about actually the switch case. Let's see the different. Now it shows the two display. Okay. So this is about the Angular 17 code. Okay, then let's go for condition. So actually what we are going to do for here we have a employee list, name and position. Actually 3 lists are there. Looping through that object and showing all the names here. So this is about the actually this is about Angular 16 code. This is 17 code. So if we go on to see here, the both shows the same result. Here ng for we need to use, and here the employee here, employee name, employee position we are going to use. But here actually for employee object we are showing here. Here one thing actually here, the track and use the employee name. So actually this is the different keyword. Actually what it will do. Even this available in Angular 16 itself, but for that we need to do some extra work. So what we need to do, track by, okay, yeah, already I written the code. So I actually first I will explain what is the difference between this and that. When you use the track, here also we have the same kind of track, but the coding practice and the best practices and all, people will encourage us to use the track by. Actually, I tell the difference in normal. So we are showing the 3 employees here in terms of 16 or 17. So 3 employees here, your data, just you change actually designation for Yogarajan to some other thing. So here actually we will change team lead for Yogarajan means when you load load the UI, actually the track what it will do, that keyword what it will do, it won't show, it won't load all the things. Where change is available, that part only it will show. So actually in concept we have actually here shadow DOM. I have heard that shadow DOM, virtual DOM and all. So that will come later part. Actually that is the efficiency how we need to made change in UI, because we have several data. User makes or refresh the page means why we need to build from the beginning all the things. So here we have shadow DOM. In Angular we are using shadow DOM. So it has the mechanism. So some brilliant. Actually it will change it apply change where really data is changed. Okay, so track will do, it won't disturbance other things and all. Only it will apply the change here. So for that we need to use this track. Previously in Angular 16 and all, what we need to do, we need to add this thing here. But it optional up to Angular 16. This is optional. So without this, it is working, right? So track by employee name. Employee name is a function here. I have created here. So employee name. Actually, here I am telling in the employee object, with is the index kind of things. Actually, we need to use the ID field for the index. For example purpose, I have used the text field here. So I am returning which is the trackable field means employee name. Based on the employee name, you track this object. We telling like this, then it will work perfectly. So in UI, we cannot see the different. This is the thing. The track by is the efficiency part. But here without the track we cannot do. So they made mandatory in Angular 17 itself. If you want to use for loop means you need to mandatorily you need to use this track. So here need not write separate function here. So directly that object name dot the field name here we are giving here. So very efficient way, right? So here, so we need to write separate function and call it. We cannot use, you cannot call here employee dot. So we cannot use here and all. So we need to write separate function and to mention here. So that is the main thing in terms of for. Okay. In Angular 16, so you need to use this one, but this track by part is optional, but they made as a mandatory now, and very simple only here. Okay, so you have any question up to that about the structural directives? Because this is the very the basic things in our code.
The employee name changes alone, then that track option will work.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Mm.
So in case multiple, let's say you have interpreted like position change, then it should get reflected. So multiple option, if I change, will it get affected? Like track by employee name, comma.
Actually,
track by
that is not
position.
like that, because if it is true, if we have 15 fields, we cannot mention like that, right? So what it will do, it will note the based on the given field. That's why what recommendation is that always you go for some integer field. So it will make index kind of thing. So if you mention the name, not only changes in name, based on that row, in that in a row, which field I need to take for index, that to information only we are giving. Okay, so it will remember internally it will have some array kind of things, name 1, name 2, name 3. So based on we are giving, right? So if any changes happened in name 2 means it will omit other thing. This only it will load again. So entire row will be load again. So otherwise we cannot give multiple things and all, right? So this is kind of index. So that's a thing here. Okay, so this is about the structural things. They're very simple only. If you are the new for Angular means best you start from the Angular 17. A lot of new features actually mentioned in last 3 versions. So we have separate session for the new what is new in all last 3 sessions. So that is good for us. Okay, this is about the structural. And attribute things. As I said earlier, attribute means change the appearance or behavior of the element, mostly the color and the style kind of things. Okay. So mainly we have actually 3 things here: ng style, ng class, ng model, and form group and form control name. Actually, these two is it's a bigger topic. Actually, we will discuss more. But I explain what is the thing in actually a very top level. You will understand in future session. We will cover more. Okay, so ng style. Let's go for attribute directory. Uh, let's change your attribute component, actually structural component we have. Change to attribute component. If you go to attribute component, okay. Okay, in UI now it says you are a guest user. So here we have 2 kind of message. If the paid user comes means we need to tell one message. You are a paid user. Otherwise, guest user means what we will do. Some we will use the if condition. Normally, if now itself now only we learned, right, that at if or ng if we can use, right, that we will go. But without using that thing, how we can do? Because this is actually some color we are changing means for changing the color, why need to go for if? So that's the thing. Actually, we have ng if. This is very easy actually. So okay, I comment out this part. So if you look the change, same change kind of message only, you are paid user or guest user. In ternary operator, I am handling this because our ambition is that we need to achieve this within the same line, right? So this we can make it. So no issues. Here itself we can make it. But 2 kind of styles are there. Then how we are going to make it? So as a data, we can handle with that if condition or ternary operator. But here how we can use that is for actually ng style. They brought this one. This attribute actually here we can mention here. So we need to use this thing. Actually already style is there, but ng style with attribute, this symbol we need to give. Here we are assigning the color. I am going to give green or red based on is paid variable here. So paid user means green color, otherwise red color it will show. So if you go here, you are a guest user. I change to is paid variable, is paid, make it true. So now we change to green here. Okay, so this is about as we change the data, how we can change the style. So if we have 2 style, which style we can give, that programmatically we can do. So this is the ng if. Just you change the attribute, right? So this is about the ng if. Like that we have for class also. We have same kind of logic only. So paid user means the paid user is a one class, guest user is a one class, but this class we should have written in here. So paid user, I have written one class here, and guest user, I have written the class. And in HTML page, instead of mentioning this single means we can go for style itself, right? The ng style itself we can go, but it contains a lot of styles. Means we need to create a class, then we can call the class. So if we go here, we can see the difference. You are the paid user. This is the class here. So if we make false means it will show in red. Okay. So ng is style, ng class is the new learning for us. Okay, ng class we completed. Actually, ng model and form group and all big topic, but I will show that one. As of now, just you understand the context only. We can learn more in upcoming classes. Here we have an object, okay, with two properties, username and password. Okay, so we have two things. Okay, enable this, and let's go to here. This is the forms actually. Forms we will cover later actually. So we need to show the data and send back the value to database or classes and all. We need to use form because it is the group of data we need to handle. That's why we have a new tag called form. We will see later. As of now, what you need to understand here, this is the normal text box, right? This input is a text box, right? This is the normal thing. This and all user ID, the placeholder, this and all. Even we can remove this also. So don't make confusion. Okay, so this is the normal HTML. Okay, nothing new. So new is how we are assigning this value to here. So in normal way, what we need to do, we need to declare an ID. Based on that ID, we need to get element by ID and assign the value, right? Normally we will do like that. But here, without making more code, directly we can assign in the property itself. So in class, we are assigning this ng model and that object name dot username and the object name dot password means automatically it will assign here. Okay, so let's execute and see the code. See, this data actually already I declared in TS. We seen right here. So username James, I'm going to password is James, all right. So this is about actually the attribute. So attribute directive. This is one of the directive. Actually, it is using for the two-way binding. So how would the bind the data? Actually, we are here bind the data, right? We are assigning, binding means that just assigning the data to particular control or some other thing. Okay, so here just we are assigning the value to one text box. Okay, so this is the actually property here. In this attribute, we are assigning to this text box. Okay, so this is the thing. Like that, form control also form control name. Actually, both are same actually. So this is one type, this is another type. How we have used Angular 16 ng if and normal if. Like that, either one we can use. Okay, so this also we are going to see now. So this also we are binding the value. Okay, so here here in for this form we are assigning this form group. Let me explain this one. So here we are creating form group here with necessary field. If you one page containing multiple data means for registration page, we will have last name, first name, email, phone number, other things and all, right? So we need to create one group. So the same group easily we can shift to database and view. So that's why we are creating one class kind of thing, just you compare with class here. So one form here we call the form group with control, which control I need, username control I need, and password I need. So I am creating this form group. Okay, then I am assigning this into that name, form group name. I am assigning the form group name and directly assign the value here. Here I am ng model and object dot name I am giving here, right? Here form group name I need to tell, and that name we need not mention object here because we are mentioning the form group name. So directly we can assign the name here. So okay, so both are same. So this is about the attribute. Actually, this is attribute directive. So this and all the directive actually ng style, class, ng model and all. Style change the appearance if you have little styles. If you have little styles means you can go for ng style. But if you have multiple styles means we can create the class. But based on the condition, we can use which class we are going to assign for the particular DOM element. Actually, ng model is means actually the change the attribute routing actually here. So attribute directive. So here we are assigning the value. To assign the value, it is used to ng model and the form group. Okay. This is for using the reusable component. Here, this is nothing but here one simple component I have created here. So app title is a component name actually. The title component. Here we have only one template here with the header. We have on EC group data soft is the header here. Okay. Just assume that our project, our website contains 10 pages. All the 10 pages I need to show EC group data soft private limited. I need to show me. So one approach is that each page we can contain the same. That is inefficient. So if you want to change the font size or color means we need to make the changes in all the 10 components. But instead of that, we need to create one small component, then I need to reuse that component for all the 10 pages. One component we need to create. In all the 10 component, I need to attach that component. So that only, that is the component directive. So we are using component as a directive because in the previous pages and all, we used ng style and ng class and all, we used directive, right? Like that, now component itself, we are using as a one directive. Now let's look how we are going to use. Okay, we have I think title. Attribute data printing. Okay, title is the one only one component. Here I haven't used any styles and all style URL, that and all I haven't used. The simple component, we don't have any CSS HTML file for here. So I use the template here directly. I use style, mentioned style here. So let's execute this class and see the result. In main.ts, we need to change the component now. Okay, now if we go now. Okay. Okay, in title actually we have different selector. Okay, so this selector we need to mention in HTML page. So actually we have this one. So comment out the previous one and make it this one. So now we should work. Title only, right? Okay. Sometimes we need to. If we make in HTML page, we need to come out and because this is a starting page, right? So the changes won't apply now. Okay, so this is the simple component we have created with the header. So our company name header here. So now we are going to use this component into several pages. Now, how we can use? Just we need to use this name, the selector name. In structural here, I am going to add for all the pages we will add here. What we need to use? That's it. Okay, so in the structural, okay. So what this is a because the latest version, because we haven't used app module, right? App module means what we will do if you add any component, automatically it will added in ng module. So on that component available for the all the component. Now since there is no ng module, we need to import this one. So common module we have imported, right? Like that we need to title we need to use. Now there is no error. Okay, now we make it the structural component is the starting page. Now structural component going to load with header. What is the issue now?
Restart again.
In app component.
Yeah,
in app
because
component, we
yeah,
have to change, right?
yes, because now we are running this component first. So this app root should be in here. Actually, after the routing session, this pane is not there because we can at a time all the pages are available. Okay, see here ESV group data are available here. Now go to attribute page. Attribute component. First, header won't be available. So here attribute component going to load here. But here header is not available. What I am going to do in structural component, just I copy the component calling. Yeah, this app title, right? Just you copy and add it into struct attribute component. Attribute we have here. And what we need to do, we need to import that one because individual component we have. So we have add the title component. We need to import the title component. Then yeah, now header is available, right? So this is the reusable component. Okay, so component as a directive for other DOM elements. So this is the component directive. The last one, let's see that one, the custom directive. So last one, since we don't have time, let's see the pipes and all the next session. Custom directive. So far what and all we see, this is and all the inbuilt component actually. What ngif, switch, for, and the style, class, model, this and all actually inbuilt function, inbuilt directory already have. So if you want to create your own directory, means Angular allows us. Now we are going to create one directive. Thus, creator is formatting the telephone number. So simply, if you in text box, it won't allow other than the number. So this is a simple thing I have written. We can write any complex kind of things. So here directives, the keyword is a different. So far we have written the two directives. One is the component directives model in model we created, right? This one the new things, the directives. We need to start with the directives, and the selector is the name we need to give because this name only we can add up to any control. Okay, so this is the thing. And standalone, normally this is the normal thing. And here in key down, so host listener, what we tell, In this, where I am attaching this directive, in that control, user enter or the key down, it should execute. So that's the thing. In key down, I have written one rejects. So input is other than a number means just remove that one. So this is the prevent default means it will eliminate. So simple thing. I share this document with you. You can see that one. So let's go to custom directives. Okay, directive I have written here. Okay, so the same thing what I explained is the selector I have given and the which event should fire when user enter, and I am getting the value, the current value, and concurrent with the next actually. So in this rejects the prevent default. So other than the not matching means not number means. So I have given this condition here. So 0 to 9 only should be acceptable. So it will exit if other than 0 to 9. So this is the simple directives I have written. So in this directive I have called, I think structural or attribute. Okay, here I have called. See, here we have one text box in this phone number, this one. So here I have called here. I have format the telephone number directive. So I think where we are. Okay, luckily we have here only. Okay, the phone number in this text box only, I added that custom directives. So if I enter character here, nothing it will allow. But enter number, this only it will allow. Here itself, just I remove this one and save it. So now it will allow anything. To write some more validations, some common things. That's this is the thing I said. So in directives, if you go now, so in this text box, user enter the key down. We need to execute some sample means we need to do this one. So we can add the same thing for even for key up, key down, so anything we can write. But normally I have written one thing. Normally we won't go. So nowadays we have other third-party controls and all available. So this validation and all, if you attach that thing, so package and all available. If you add that package means many validation it does nowadays available. But if you want to go your own customize the directive means you can write your own thing. So this is about the directives. Okay, so mostly that structural directives is very, very important. So without that, we cannot do anything. But others are all optional, but you can use efficiently. Okay. So this is up to today's. This only we can complete. So next session we will see pipe and data binding. Okay, data binding and service, other things we can see. So if you have any question now. Let's see others. Oh, Jayan is there. Jayan, actually,
Yes,
one
now.
just I want to share again. Please give me 1 minute. Actually, Jayan asked one valid thing last session. Actually, he asked about why we need to the source map in our project twice. So one, we have TS config. We have source map. So source map is mapping the source. The Java source means the JavaScript here, because in browser JavaScript only available. But for developer convenient, the same file, the TS file also available. So this is a source map actually. So here we have a source map property, and Angular also is provide source map. So source map available actually. So actually when I tried several times, I make this one pass and this fail, that false true and all making. And referred the other article to actually what they are telling. Since you are using TypeScript by default, the TS config available for your project, but Angular compiler it will give the precedence. It will give importance to only the Angular JSON only. So how I checked here, I make true. So source map available. False means it won't be available, even though I give true here. So Angular compiler gives importance to Angular JSON. because this same TS config, TS file available for Vue.js project and React project and all. If they don't have this property for particular thing, then it takes the precedence. So this is the thing. So mostly actually recommendation is that everything you will try to give in Angular JSON itself. So this is the thing this is what I wanted to update, Jayan.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you so much. Then, so we are able to configure the build version in package, sorry, Angular.json also.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we can do. We have the compiler session we will see. So we will have smaller thing, then different kind of compiler available for Angular, which is efficient when we need to use for which compiler, that and all we will see later.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, friends.